I'm here.
You there? Oh, okay. All right.
Soul cycle out for me right at 8 o'clock. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's
Damn.
see, you usually on CPT time.
Yeah. I mean, what this mean? We about to turn white or something on time and shit?
Right.
Well, it was bound to happen again.
So what's up with you though?
Oh, man. I'm banging the game again, man. Back trading, going through the ups and
Huh?
downs of that shit. But it's looking good, though. And, doing good at this new place, this new gig I'm at. I'm top marketer there with all more sales than anyone else.
Well,
So
that's what's
this
up.
I'm pimping that shit so I can continue to have money to be able to trade to catch this thing that's getting ready to happen or that's in the process of happening.
Right. So you
Yeah.
can go into the mantra. I mean,
Yes. Here we go. Oh shit! Don't tell me I lost it. Damn. Man.
did you load the mantra?
Yeah, I had it loaded and then I changed. Oh shit.
Well, while you wait, while you are getting that,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's another show I've been. There's another show I've been analyzing, and it's really, really that shit is man. They going in on this one, and
I got it. Uh-huh.
it's called His Dark Material.
It's
His
called what?
Dark Material.
Oh, his dark material.
Ooh, go check out that shit, man. Because they make the correlation between demons and spirit and soul.
Oh yeah.
In the soul, they make
Oh.
the correlation between the demon and the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
oh my god, you gotta peep it out, bro. You gotta go peep it out because they just giving you so many metaphysical symbolisms in that movie. And I mean, in that show, it's a show. It's on HBO.
It's
It's on
called My Dark.
HBO. So
My
I
Dark.
just recently got HBO Max HBO thing
Mm-hmm.
on my on Fire Stick, and I've been binging on that. It's called His Dark Material.
His
His
dark
Dark
material.
Material. And
Okay.
it sounds what it sounds like is what it is.
Dark.
They going in on that shit because you know how different show they got different names for a substance in their world in that particular world that's just this divine substance and shit similar to
Mm-hmm.
what melanin is to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got in the
Yeah.
Doom movie it's called Spice. In
Yeah.
this movie it's called it's called Dust. On
Dust.
this one, it's called Dust. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Wow, this is going in on that shit too.
Mm. Okay. Well, I found them. I found the mantra.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light, from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Is now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sun kundalini flame, now whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Aminel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi dragon god sun king and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our core, in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon gods, sun kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, all of the dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, and desires, and crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we all need now to help us overcome all of the obstacles and adversities in our lives, completely dissolving all of our worries, lack, problems, and fears into nothing. Now, manifesting into our lives as all of the substance that we need to command our lives into the proper order and law that we will and command and desire our lives to be. As I affirm the positive abundance in the absolute all, as an eachness of oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into my reality in life, into my reality in life as divine love, perfect health and vitality, the abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching my life and the lives of everyone around me while protecting me from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against me and my family, neutralizing all of my enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction upon the evil soulless counterfeit spirits, the ignorant walking dead, automatons, and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and its archonic forces enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with Yaldabaoth, who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all in this prison of this physical realm of physical matter to be reborn, live, suffer, and die over and over again and again for centuries and millenniums until now. Because now's the time of our rise as we all ascend to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall, as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we all now will and commanded to be, through the power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe.
Presto change.
Yep.
Okay. You can go into the libation too. Okay. Let me see.
Okay. Ain, the nothingness, ashe. Ain soft or the Ain soft, the infinite. Ain soft or the infinite light. Adam Catman and Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days, the primordial Christ. Atsilith, emanations, the supernal holy universe manifesting as the holy divine infinite magical names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe. The great abyss of Gnosis, the crown of Zeramp and the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise manifesting as the holy divine infinite magical dark angels, archangels, and demons, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation manifesting as the holy divine infinite, the holy divine orders of angels. Malkut, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting, Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting as the holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom, Ashe. Yashida, the holy, divine spark, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will, Ashe. Heya, our holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe. Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly thoughts, Ashe. Ashe. Ruach, our holy, divine soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical word, spoken through us, Ashe. Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly soul, manifesting into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be, Ashe. Kether, the crown, Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother, Ashe. Doth, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe. Hased, mercy, Ashe. Gavora, judgment, Ashe. Tiferet, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Had, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness, the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The infinite flower, blooming the absolute all into being, Ashe. Heru, Ashe.
Yeah, this
Hmm? Well, to all gods and goddesses known and unknown, Ashe.
yeah, I was trying to look up. I don't know. You breaking up really, really bad. The
I am.
internet's tripping again. But I was gonna say a couple of gods: Shiva,
Oh,
Vishra,
okay.
Ashe, Brahma, Ashe,
Mm, they're not even ready.
Semet, Ashe. Right. I said
What do you
my
think?
Ashe.
We'll be right back after this message. I'm back. I went to go get some water.
Yeah, we went out for a minute.
Yeah, you, they really cut you off. You just disappeared. And then I just went to go get some water.
There, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I was just seeing. 'Cause it looked like somebody else. Yeah. Um, you said in the mantra, you said realization was manifestation, and manifestation is not just a physical phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
So when things that manifest on a physical level
Mm-hmm.
is a manifestation of the physical vibration, but there are manifestations on other level that is not is not relevant from being orientated through the physical sensory perception. That's what makes it relevant. Physical physical sensory perception, and everything that manifests on that level, it's like, oh, that's relevant. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's the mistake we make when we think, okay, I need physical evidence, but physical evidence doesn't prove things that are metaphysical or things are spiritual. Or you got to experience it. You got to experience it for yourself.
Well, yeah. Well, things that manifest on the physical realm, are first manifested, are the energy is starts on higher realms and then trickles all the way down. What we see as manifestation down here is the final process of something that began in a much higher realm.
Well, what I'm saying also, I can see that from a sensory perception, but from a sensory perception, human perspective. But I'm saying, like, physical reality doesn't validate anything, really.
Oh,
It really doesn't. It doesn't
yeah.
verify. It doesn't verify shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, the thing about it is that's wrong. That's what's wrong with modern science, is that they think they can master the physical realm and now they master the rest of the whole universe. No.
Oh, gosh, it's
Hell no.
far from it. Mastering the physical realm is like, it's you mastered nothing. You mastered the lowest part of the illusion. Although all of it is an illusion, but
Right.
this part of the illusion is the most lowest and the most
Right.
grossest and the most dense.
Right. This is the putrefaction of the soul. Humanity is the putrefaction of the soul.
Yeah, it's putrefying. It's being turned, going through the process that makes wine, that turns grapes into wine.
Right. And that's it. Literally they let it putrefy. Putrefy just mean it gets rotten.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's broken down
It
to its
gets
most
rotten.
grotesque level.
Right. So yeah, that's what humanity represents. I mean, on a higher spiritual level, we should be on the level of mastery over our physical selves, right? Which that's the
Hmm.
problem with humanity, because they can't master their physical existence, and that's the problem. This is what the shamans, this is what all of these masters have been trying to teach for years, is to master your not only physical self, because we know physical reality is an illusion. That's how you master it. You come to grasp with that. You come to that realization, and more you you become, if your physical body becomes a more of a light body than it's a physical body, meaning you're understanding the dynamics of these polarizing frequencies, right? Because you got your light body frequency vibrating on one frequency, then you got your physical body vibrating on another lower dense frequency.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's the polarization of that within they call it in Islam the inner jihad.
Mm. The
The inner
energy high.
jihad. Right. Because they call jihad is what these people who the jihadists are the ones that are supposed to be the terrorists, the people who are causing terrorist acts before their religious beliefs, right? They are supposed to
Yeah.
be jihadists, right? And it's called,
Hmm.
because it's a holy war. Jihad is a holy war,
Hmm.
right? But they're taking it out of context. But it's because it's an inner holy war. It's what's going on with the not inside of you. It doesn't have nothing to do. It has nothing to do with these people have taken it
Picking up a
as.
gun and going and shooting people or blowing yourself up with 10 other people.
Right. Has nothing to do with
Ain't
that.
nothing holy about that. Ain't nothing holy. Ain't nothing holy about that. But
Well, I beg
but
to differ
okay,
because
but
I mean, at the end of the day, not that I encourage it or I promote it, but bringing people quicker to the realization of their physical existence being an illusion through either death, through self-realization, they're not going to get it through self-realization, and that process takes too long. So,
yeah.
the quickest route of getting people to wake the fuck up is for a gang of people to die. And I'm not encouraging that. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying that's the quickest way for us to snap the fuck out of the bullshit, though.
Well, probably. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I mean, a lot of us take this physical existence as being something that's really important and something really precious and that you must hold on to and and cherish when it's just a prison.
Yeah,
It's a
agree.
prison. It's
And
a
not that don't get us wrong. We're not promoting suicide. We're not promoting to kill yourself. We're just saying that we put too much emphasis on this physical existence to the point where we will sell out. We will sell out something greater than your own physical existence just for physical existence. Like, for example, you know how people say freedom or death?
Mhm.
Why would you want to be under the servitude and slavery, but you alive? So some people would rather just be alive and be under servitude and shit. You feel me? And I'm like, no, I would rather fight for freedom and
Yeah, or die.
die if it's possible.
Yeah, die,
If it's if
die,
it,
die with some dignity.
Man, listen, the ancestors gonna fuck your ass over on the ramp on the other side if you don't stand up for something on this end. If you don't
Oh,
stand up for something, your ass gonna get fucked off over on the spiritual realm, on the ancestral realm. That mind you, let me
oh yeah,
remind you, because you better stand for something here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You better stand for
yeah.
something. I mean, you think this is torture, and that's what they refer to as hell because most people are not even doing their sole purpose. What is the sole purpose? Right? We of course we came to the conclusion that there is no purpose, right? The
hmm
purpose literally actually is just doing this shit, just doing it. That's
The
we just doing it. It's
the
just
purpose from here is to make is jailbreak. Is to
yeah,
break
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then and reestablish myself back into the continuum or that my soul was a part of before this, or going to a new continuum that's going to evolve into something beyond this. And
That's
this
what's
was
gonna
just
happen. What you just said is going. This is we are have to realize because I think a lot of times we're comfortable with thinking that we're finite beings and our existence is not beyond this whole life and death cycle, right? And it
uh-huh.
is. You gotta
Oh yeah.
you gotta
Well,
accept that. I think that's one of the biggest things that people just can't accept. This is why they would rather be uh, under the submission of another entity higher than
yeah.
them because they don't want the responsibility of or accountability of being a god themselves.
I don't get that. I don't get that. I
I
mean,
don't
if
get
I had a
it either.
choice between take it upon my own self to be and become God, or to be a little bitch bowing down, worshiping, praying, and asking some motherfucker up in the sky to bless me, um, I'm gonna take it upon myself to do it.
When
I'm taking it upon myself.
See, I think they don't really even understand how this thing works when it comes to gods and how man creates gods for what? Why do they create gods, or do gods create man? See, that's the question most people have to grapple with. Do gods create man, or do man create gods? You know what
Maybe
I'm
it's a little bit
saying?
of both.
It is.
I
That
think it's both.
thank you. Thank you. It is. Because we have to understand a God is nothing more than a manifestation of our us symbolizing a part of ourselves that we can't conceive of as a human. It appears that we're inferior to other human, but it's just an aspect of ourselves, right? In our
Yeah, but
teachings, it says the gods of our gods change with the. I'm trying paraphrasing, but basically, when man changed their minds, gods change. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing.
mhm.
It seems something like that, but when we change our minds, the gods literally change too. 'Cause there's a symbiosis between our imagining God, the images that we imagine God as, and
Mhm.
then the actual energy interacting with us. You know what I'm saying? Through that manifestation, through that act of mentalism that we're doing.
And the image is just only a symbol of the energy.
Right. But that's the correlation. That's where we have a relationship.
Yeah.
You know how most people say my relationship with God is personal. Yes, you get it.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It is.
Well,
That's true.
you're saying that you having a personal relation with an energy that seems distant from you as a human, but it's one and the same with you. You have a quantum. It's a quantum relationship.
Well, uh, in religion they teach you that, but um, in the occult teaching is totally different, metaphysical. The relationship you have with God, the inner God, is you're having a relationship with your own self.
I mean, it only makes sense when you grapple with the like one of my biggest uh things that helped me evolve is to get over a lot of petty emotional hangovers, psychological hangovers,
Hmm.
a lot of elementary stuff that you just grow out of eventually when you get older. A lot of people
Yeah,
just don't grow out of it. And
yeah. Yeah. They stay. They remain grown kids, grown children.
right, it's crazy because literally, literally, they look at these people as minorities or minors. That's exactly what minor actually means. You know that, right?
Uh, Minority.
Minority means someone who is not capable of handling their own affairs. That's the legal definition of it. So when they say we're
Hmm.
minorities. That's just saying that we're not mature enough to handle our business as a people. So they need to we need to be dependent on an adult. Basically, that's what minority literally means
An
legally.
adult figure.
Right. So yeah, when they say illegal, I mean when they say minor, they're saying you're a child. You're a minor. That's the root word of it. Minority. The root word is minor. You're a minor. You don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But there's a
Hmm.
what they call Minnesota rule. Minnesota rule. If you ever heard of this stuff, look it up. Google Minnesota rule. Minnesota rule is basically a principle of law that speaks of when someone reaches a level of maturity, they have every right. They have
Minnesota
every
rule.
right to take over their own affairs. Right now,
Okay.
they're assuming the whole reason why is tyranny,
Minnesota
and
rule.
it's tyranny, and they are imposing authorities upon us right now. is because the mass majority of people are not taking accountability and responsibility as an adult. As an adult, are what they call free people, or freemen, right? And we're not taking taking our part in the affairs of men. That's the problem. We have to take our part in the affairs of men. As long as we are in this state of minority where we're dependent on another group of people, we can never assert our human rights. Because you are an inferior, you are literally in an inferior state right now based on your own inconsistencies, right?
Yeah.
It'll be inconsistency to not know your rights, not study, not do certain things that are in the characteristics of an adult. So, and this is where the tyranny comes from. People always, well, in the community, or the conscious, so-called conscious community, I can't call them conscious because they really not. But in the so-called conscious community, right, everyone points the finger at tyranny, but don't realize that you're playing a part in allowing tyranny to exist.
Yeah, that's true too.
You're playing a part in it. Everyone is.
Yeah. I mean, you have to accept that, because if not, then you're saying you're not in control.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And then guess what? People like to they like to dwell in that victimization, so to make it appear like, oh, I don't have you hear people talking points. This is why I was speaking on you a couple of weeks ago, on listen to your language, listen to what you're telling yourself. Like, we have to have affirmations and realize the power of affirmation. Right? We don't understand the power of affirmation. We live in the confound. We live in the confounds of somebody else's programming, somebody else's idea of our reality.
Affirmations, and not only just affirmations, but auto-suggestions, which is self-suggestion.
Right. It's like we're powerful as hell. It's like we're not even utilizing all the power that we have. Affirmation is one of the most powerful superpowers you have.
Yeah, that and auto-suggestion. Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, what's his name teaches that? Teach you that in Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. That was one of the main bases behind that book. Auto-suggestion, affirmation.
Right, and the cold thing about it is they teach this in the church too. That's what's so cold. They talking about how if you when you pray on something and actually move forward on the fulfillment of that prayer, that's you setting it up to manifest in your life, right? So it's the same principles. It's like you when you believe it, you conceive it, and you achieve it. You believe it, you conceive it, and achieve it. Period. It's just that simple. It's a simple programming. It's just like we're not utilizing the programming because most of us have been convinced of the colonizers. What the colonizers have indoctrinated us very badly. Very badly.
What's wrong with the people? Their mind is full of this entertainment bullshit, sports, the wrestling, fighting, social media.
Sensationalism.
Distractions.
Sensationalism.
They're absolute geniuses when it comes to that shit. Okay? But when it comes to their real, true self-development, they're fucking idiots.
They don't care about their self-development.
No, it's not important.
They don't care about their own self-development. I run into people constantly who are fine with being oblivious what's going on around them, and they basically are just living what you call automatons. They're just automatons.
They're just living in this little tiny circle. They live in a little tiny circle.
Right.
And the only way it expands is it expands through the next model of iPhone and or the new technology that comes out that make you have to get before everyone else, because if you got it before everyone else, then you're cool. You're what's happening. You. I mean, you're relevant, but you're really not.
Which is called gluttony in the Bible, which is a deadly sin. It's one of the seven deadly sins, gluttony.
Yeah, because you're out of all this consumption or consumerism that you're doing, you're getting nothing back. You're not going through the alchemical process where you're turning lead into gold in up here, in here, turning lead
Right.
into
I
gold.
think we need to explain that, brother, because I think people are confused whenever we bring up the concept of alchemy. They don't understand that there's a physical
And
version
mental.
of how alchemy, which is all symbolic to the mental alchemy. The what we're speaking about how to motivate or control the energy, right, of your whole essence, your being. How do
Yeah,
you control or
and transcend it.
yeah, that's the I guess I can transit. Yeah, you can
Cause it to
actually
metamorph that shit.
become become one with it, and then from that perspective take control of your essence and take control of your energy. This is what we mean by alchemy, and it's a mental thing more than it's an actual
It's a
physical
mental
activity.
thing. You're turning the things that you're not, that most people are not using on the inside. You're using those things to refine yourself into gold, into silver, into turning, using your mind to become something that's very powerful, that produces things, that gets shit done, and that can manifest things into the world that can make your life better or make your life worse, and that can make everyone else's life better. And things, I mean, if we each one do the right mental alchemy, we're doing the mental alchemy, you're going to come up with these ideas and new solutions that are going to be so out of the box, so beyond
Okay,
the time.
let's even go. Let's even bring it full circle for what we was talking about when we just got on there.
Hmm.
We talked about how did God create man or did man create God? And what is your answer? Both, right?
Both.
You
Yeah.
got to realize that that's a form of mental alchemy. That's a form of when you create a God, when you create a mythos, and then you correlate that mythos with actual things you want to intend to manifest in reality. And this is how you literally this I mean it's really a realization or a revealing of actual reality, because we our idea of reality is nowhere near what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a clue if you don't understand what these concepts and how we have a lot of power that we don't think we have, and that's the problem. We just gave you superpower, parts of your superpower,
Yeah.
affirmation, mental alchemy. All you got to do is apply these things, and you will see so many miracles. What they call a miracle magic is a power. You have a literal power right there. And the thing about it is, there can't be any magic unless you have melanin.
Yeah.
Period.
The
You
black
can't
dot.
do it. You can't do it unless you got melanin. This is why all their rituals, they always have to sacrifice something of melanin in order for the magic to coalesce.
Yeah, they gotta shed the blood of something that has the life force that they don't have.
Right.
And melanin is that life force, because melanin existed before creation.
Right. It's a
Melanin,
primal force. It's a
It's not.
primal force.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Bobby Hemmett says, crush death. It's was something that's left over after the death of an entity or a god that lived a long time ago.
Right. It's the essence of that primordial entity, those primordial, and oh my God, the primordial deities are like their energy is becoming more prevalent right now too.
Yep.
It wasn't no doubt, it wasn't no it was synchronicity that I was bringing these concepts back into the forefront of our concept, especially look, think about it. In this society, primal or primal or primitive, which is the root word,
Mm-hmm.
they consider that they consider that passe in this
Or,
society.
or something inferior.
Inferior, yes.
When,
When
but actually they don't. They know that the
no,
primordial
behind
beginning.
closed doors, they're gonna yeah, behind closed. But in the public on TV, they're gonna try to make it. Oh, we're advanced civilization because we got technology and whoa whoa whoa, and they were primitive back then. Fuck out of here.
When their technology, when the technology they have today is emulating everything that the ancients had and did in the past.
Right, right.
It's
And
emulating our.
we're going into the energy, right? The energy, the manifestation of the energy, like, well, how the cultivation. That's why I can just say we moving into a energy of cultivated energy of when Atlantis existed. Now, mind you, we y'all have to study what's called morphic fields. Morphic
Yeah.
fields are what is the collective conscious manifesting around us as physical, like this, and it's like a what most people call a divine intelligence that
Mm-hmm.
permeates, and we're all connected to the divine intelligence, mind you. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that divine intelligence is breaking down geometrically or sacred geometry, right? And because your whole all of physical reality is based on that sacred geometry. And you
Okay.
can see it everywhere. And that's a divine intelligence right there being expressed all around you. And then all we do is like, you notice like all of what we do is like synchronized in that. Humanity don't even recognize that we're doing stuff that's based in that nature, right? And we don't even recognize it sometimes until the great ones, the ones who the seers, they come and show look at what you're doing. Look at what we're doing. We're just
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling prophecy. We're just playing a part in a divine something very divine, and you don't even see how you're doing that. You're
Well,
divine. You're
well,
divinity.
well. According to Madame Blavatsky, this is our fourth time around on this in this in this stage of evolution. We've been here three times prior to this. Yeah, this is you can say this. We've come out of the fourth Atlantis, and we can really go back up into the next Atlantis, but this time is Atlantis on an incline and not Atlantis on a decline. The last Atlantis was on a decline. When we went into Atlantis, we declined into Atlantis. All
Right,
right. And then we declined from there to this, into from
right.
Atlantis into Kemet, Al
You know
Cabalon.
how you know what that remind me of?
What?
Of how and the crazy part about it, the energies are affected by the planets and how their processions and how they move in certain parts of the cosmos, right? For example, Saturn, or is it
Mm-hmm.
Sirius? It's either Sirius or Saturn, right?
Mm-hmm.
They worship the fall of Saturn, and we used to worship the rise of Saturn,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm.
it's two different polarities. That's right, literally, because when Saturn is falling, they ruled.
Well, at one time, Saturn was our star. We were uh, we used to go around Saturn,
Right,
and
but
then
that's
there
what I'm
was a
talking
great
about.
war.
But
Uh-huh.
when Saturn was falling in the
Hmm.
cosmos, meaning in its precession, because he got the rise, the helical rising, and then you got the helical precession. I mean, what's the one called? The helical. I forgot what it was, but even
Wax
the
and
sun
wane.
does this, right?
Yeah,
It got its
it
highest
waxes and
peak,
wanes.
huh?
Waxing
Yeah,
and waning.
like the sun, like the moon. So
Hmm.
all these planets do this, right? They reach their
Hmm.
highest peak, and then they come back into their onto their regular precession, right?
Hmm.
It keeps doing that. Every time it does this, the energies are affected, right? The energies of the whole world and the universe, because this shit permeates throughout the whole multiverse. So
Well, actually, but that's just a hologram of what's going on inside of us. So that's something. Those processions are something that's happening inside of us, because those planets that they see out there, those stars and the multiverse they see out there, it's in us. It's inside of us too.
no doubt, that's why it's like a visual of something being projected from inside of us so that we can get some insight on what's really going on inside of us. This is the whole art of astrology, astronomy, astrology is to, because when you get on those levels, you start making connections where you like, damn, the synchronicity is getting deeper when you get to those higher vibrations. It's like the synchronicity get deeper, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
imagine.
On
Yeah.
this level, on this lower level, it's like your mind, or the what they call that shit, when your the chambers of your mind, your brain, when it, because
So
as a child you don't got as many chambers, but as you
they
grow you
start.
get more
They
more
start
and more
growing.
chambers of the brain or whatever, right?
Yeah, they start developing. They start. They.
Right, right.
Yeah, they
So
start move should start growing in your you start growing new shit in your brain, new connections that you
but when
didn't
you
have
opening
before.
up those chambers of the brain, you open those chambers of the brain, right? Because that's like a key to the multiverse or the innerverse within you.
So we're
Is
opening up new
not
connections to
necessarily just the brain, because that's a physical manifestation of the mind, right? The mind is what you're using as a tool to go through the aspects of your, because you're multi-dimensional in nature. So you don't travel like, this is why I explain to people about wormhole travel and traveling to other parts of the universe or parts of the multiverse.
hmm
Is you're not actually going anywhere. Remember, it's an illusion, right?
hmm
So what happens is all you're doing is you're opening up an aspect of yourself and you're entering into that. When you break, okay, let me explain. When you open up a fucking wormhole, right?
yeah.
All you're doing is opening up an aspect of yourself, because all of the multiverse exists inside of you. This is why they mummified the body, because they didn't want the soul to come out of the multiverse. But look, oh my, this is a date. Because look, look, all this is just a projection of the multiverse, right?
hmm
The
hmm
multiverse exists inside of you. You are the multiverse. We
Yes,
are
one.
we are figments of that primordial energy, right? So everything is everything. This is where you get the concept of everything is everything. Because you simultaneously exist. There is no distance between here and the moon. There is no distance between here and Saturn. There is no distance between here and the Sirius star system. There is no distance.
in
That shit is an
in the mind
illusion.
there isn't.
That
Yeah.
shit is an
In
illusion, bro. That shit is an illusion. There is no
yeah.
distance. That don't exist. When you all you doing is then that's why the whole space program is a motherfucking sham. That's a damn sham. The whole sham. They're not going to no damn with no propulsion system. They know damn, and they know this too. This is all up front.
This is NASA is Hollywood on steroids.
Yes, it is. Yes, the fuck it is. And they have to they have to keep us fixated on outer perception, on our outer perception of our reality, and us orientating ourselves in that outer perception.
Yeah.
If they keep us orientated on that, we will never go within and connect the dots on we're never going to connect the black dot on where all that is, which is in the black dot.
Yeah.
All of existence exists in the black dot.
Within the black dot, which exists right here within me, within each one of us.
Right.
Yeah. Which means any one of us can just turn the fuck on and just light up the whole fucking planet. I mean, just one of us just come on and it just ignite all of us.
Did you ever? They revealed certain truths about the humans' existence, and just one thing is just the human body, right? Do you know that the energy of a human body can actually fuel the whole world for years?
Well, actually, they showed you that in the movie The Matrix, but actually, there's enough energy. Just
one though. Not counting multiple, like they were taking advantage of multiple. No, I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to cut you off.
But they said there's enough energy enough to make a lightning bolt a mile long.
Now they're revealing this stuff because you got to realize that this stuff is inevitably coming out. So their game is to let's create the New Age movement, right? You got to realize that the New Age movement ain't nothing but the CIA.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All these New Age gurus and stuff, they CIA agents.
CIA.
Hell yeah.
CIA. The CIA, what? That got to be ran by the demiurge or some archons or some motherfucking grays.
Well, that's compartmentalized. It's compartmentalized to where they are. Yes, they underneath some organization. That's another organization. See, the thing about it is human consciousness. The whole conspiracy theory movement haven't even reached the intelligence to see who we the only one got close when we said it was melanated people. I've never heard nobody ever say that. I've never. It's melanated people who y'all trying to act like, oh, it's these pale skinned ones. No, they're not. Who are the most powerful beings on the goddamn in the whole multiverse? Melanated people, right?
Melanated motherfuckers. We run the whole goddamn universe.
It makes sense to think that it's another. Our rivals would be another melanated person, right? Yeah. Nobody else can't nobody rival us but another melanated person, right? Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. And when you really examine our history, right? Mm-hmm. The pale skin ones, they played a really insignificant part in subjugating a big portion of melanated people. No, it was other melanated people that did it.
It was black on black crime.
Other melanated people. Come on now.
Black on black crime.
Man, stop it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I reevaluated. Look, you got to realize that the Europeans were our slaves too. At one point in time.
Yeah.
Go get the brother's book. Well, the brother book More Than Masonry. He talks about this More Than Masonry before they even were able to even come across the Atlantic. They didn't even have the capabilities to go back and forth across the Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. So we that whole narrative where we're victims and colonization and all that stuff. I'm not denying it happened, but I think a big part of it, how it happened, is because other melanated people helped them.
Yeah.
It's the only way it can happen.
Yeah.
It's the only way. Stop it.
And they still help.
Now, there's got to be, and I'm not coming from a divide and conquer type thing, because my whole objective is to weave out these sellouts amongst us in the melanated community. We have to weave them out eventually. We're gonna have to weave out people. My idea is those who are willing to sell out the rest of the melanated peoples for their own personal political or economic gain. I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta be mature enough to recognize nationality. Like, we dismiss nationality in our community. Systematic. They systematically deny. I mean, not only deny us, but indoctrinate us to make us feel like that's an irrelevant subject matter. We don't need to deal with nationality, right? But nationality is just a level of maturity. That's the level of maturity of a group of people when they reach this level of maturity amongst themselves, right? Because we have been reduced to a baby-like people. We have been reduced to a baby-like people. Many people have said this before. We're, as a people, we just probably in our teenage stages right now. We in our teenage stages still.
Well,
where you're just discovering certain things. You just discover, and you're going in. I would say you in teenage, almost going into adulthood, like you almost finna go into high school. And I'm talking about in our evolutionary stage as it pertains to our mental development, going back to our true nature of who we actually were on this planet, and whoever everybody venerated. You know what I'm saying? You go back to any of the ancient gods, they were melanated gods. They worshipped us.
Okay, but no other gods out there have gone through what we've gone through down here. No other gods out there have gone through the same suffering that we've gone through, the level of suffering and the level of putrefaction and fermentation. Okay, so when we come out of this, as we come out of this and grow into what it is that we're supposed to grow into, because we're becoming something that never was, that's never been, something new that's never been. We're being and becoming something new under the sun.
That's the thing. And that's the thing. Like, we are trying to do the Sankofa thing, which is necessary. We can do the Sankofa, look back to see where we're going, right? Yeah. But like you just said, there is something new under the sun being created right now. You're right. Yeah. And because that's the thing. It's like a lot of, like, when you get a lot of people right now, that's what I'm saying. Myself, I'm a seer. I'm someone who can see visions of the future, right? Mm-hmm. But the conclusion is now, right? That shit is so multidimensional. That shit is so, and every action we make right now, right, affects that future. Me just putting my hand on this, putting my hand on the screen right now, that affected the future. Me picking my phone up, I just affected the future. Now that's another. I just gave you a whole nother superpower, bro. That's a whole nother superpower. Now, when you can strategically recognize, okay, every activity I do at this particular moment is going to affect my future. Everything you do,
So that
from
means when I do
wiggling
these
your
rituals
ears,
or say these mantras, I'm affecting the future.
you affecting the energy, and you affecting the energy, and you affecting the future. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because once
Yeah.
you affect the energy in a sense, you affect the energy to a sense when you cultivate it in your interest. Like this is what people are not doing. They giving away their energy all the time.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They
That's
got
the
they.
number one currency. That's the number one currency. And y'all are giving it away. Why? How? How are y'all giving it away? The dollar, the motherfucking dollar is nothing but a goddamn sigil. Okay? It's
Yeah.
a damn sigil. Go look it up. Look up what a sigil is, right?
The
What they're
magical. It's
doing, and they're using this sigil to use your energy in the interest. It's just like how on Monster Inc. they were using fear to fuel their world. It's the same
Mhm.
concept, but they're using the dollar, and the sigil is harnessing that energy. Because how is it harnessing that energy? Because you think the dollar is valuable. You think
It's
you think the
yeah.
dollar you think the dollar is significant, so you give your energy to it, and it actually is. That's why they call it a currency, right? Because there is
Yeah.
it's going off of your actual currency. Now, when you study full faith and credit, you know what I'm saying? How they speak about the monetary system is literally based on the full faith and credit of the population, the voting population. You give
Hmm.
it all the energy it has.
Yeah. Our thinking makes it relative.
Yes, exactly.
And and there's nothing. Is that good or bad? It just is.
No, it's
It's
not, we're
energy.
not talking. We're not even talking about good or bad right now. We're
Uh-huh.
not talking
It's
about good or
energy.
bad. We're talking
Yeah.
about what's actually happening.
Oh, well, what's actually, yeah, it's happening. And the question is, people wake up and turn what's happening around into our favor and make what's happening happen for us.
We have to stop operating within the confines of the archons programs, right?
Well,
We have to return back. For example, stop being afraid of death right now. Stop it.
oh well, yeah, you can't be
I'm
afraid
talking
of
about
death.
I'm talking to the audience. Stop being afraid of death. There is no such thing, first of all, in our original culture. That don't exist. That's a Western concept.
Yeah.
Because as long as you are, that's just one of the mental controls that they have on you, is that you're afraid of death,
Hmm.
right? Another one, stop fearing anything, period.
But see, this is what they'll do. They'll take your daughter and put a gun at her head and say, conform to, or she dies.
And what am I supposed to do? Conform and be a slave? Like,
I said,
okay,
after
what am I
you,
supposed to do? Like, at the end of the day, you got to realize that that's trickery in the first place. Because if you're threatening to kill my daughter, right? What
hmm,
makes you think if I submit that you're still not going to kill her?
exactly. Well, they do eventually. And so,
Exactly. My point exactly. My point is fucking
so
exactly. So
what do
submitting to
you
them at
say?
that
Well, I'm gonna
particular
say
moment,
kill her.
like my thing is, okay, let's be strategic. Okay. I give in right now. I give in. Soon as your
Hmm.
guard down, I'm cutting your throat. No. Period. Simple as that. It's just that simple with me. But the thing about it is also another thing is most of the concepts that you learned in school were based in a Western sensory perception, third dimensional orientation, understanding of the world, which is totally flawed. Totally flawed. So, like I keep trying to tell people, stop living through your sensory perception. Stop. That's a trap. Go beyond your sensory perception and start doing clairvoyant work.
Well, actually, if you're doing the right thing, they'll be scared to shoot your daughter or you. They won't do that because they know you'll say, "Go ahead, do it, motherfucker. Unleash that energy and see what happens."
That's what they don't really want to do. They really don't want, because they know what it is too. They know
Yeah,
what it is too, right?
yeah.
And
Hmm.
and you're right. You're exactly right, because I should have even considered that. Damn, I'm thinking about my daughter right now, and I'm like, she's very powerful right now. Like these next generations, is that last generation.
Yeah.
Woo! They ready. It's like they were
They're not going to
born.
be able to use
They were.
death.
It's like
They're
they
not going
were
to be able to
born,
use.
huh?
They're not going to be able to use death to manipulate them.
No, they not. That no, they not. No, they not. No,
You're the last
oh.
generation.
Hell no. This next generation, they some they see, the thing about it is they are being born in this society. So what's going to happen is they're going to be indoctrinated, and their parents are still in indoctrination. So they're going to compound it, and then we're gonna have to reorientate them or debrief their ass and shit after all the all the bullshit, because you have to real. It's crazy. I'm realizing that automatons are too emotional. The automatons are very emotional, man. And we're gonna
Yeah.
have to end it on. We're gonna have to end it because I got to get ready for my other show. But get our last words in. The automatons, y'all are too emotional, and y'all are gonna cancel anybody like myself who are y'all consider toxic masculine. Y'all consider me toxic masculine, and I'm not even toxic masculine. If you really evaluate and examine my energy, I'm a perfect balance of my Onic energy along with Asarian energy, or not Asar, yeah, Asar, right?
Hmm. Yeah. So
So
yeah.
so it's like you got to realize that balance. This is why the battle of the sexes is going on in our community, is because none of us is realizing that balance within each other. We think
Was
we think in our community, women think they should be more masculine now, right? No, where divine feminine should be coming out more, where you're basically balancing your masculinity with your divine feminine right now. Now, and
yeah.
with us, our
That's what.
our
That's
our
what we're here for.
femininity, because we all got it. We got our femininity has to be balanced with our divine masculinity. It's an energy pattern. It's an energy balance. That's what y'all don't realize. So y'all getting caught up in the physical aspect of that energy balance, that energy, because we all going through it. People getting caught up in the psychological ramifications and the physical and the emotional, but it's all energy.
But see, okay, here's the thing. You have the tree of life. Each one of us is a tree of life. You have the masculine side on the left, and you have the feminine side on the right, and then you have the point in the side in the middle, the pillar in the middle, which is where they both come together as one. And then in the pillar in the middle is the middle pillar is the one where you want to be, because in the middle
Right,
pillar you have
right.
Malkuth, you have, which is the kingdom, you have your side, which is the testicle area or our genitals. That's the foundation, and then you have Tiferet, which is the heart, beauty, and then Doth, which is the black dot, our head right here, which is the great abyss, which is Gnosis, the great abyss of Gnosis. And then you have the three crowns above, Hakma, Bana, and Shakma. I mean, Kether. Kether is the crown, and Hakma is the supernal father, which is mercy. No, wisdom. And this one over here, Bana, that's understanding and intelligence. and then and Doth is not is Gnosis, the black dot. Okay, so but one of us is too far on the right, and the other of us is too far on the left, and you need both of them aligned up together and in the point in the middle. You got
Yeah.
to learn how to balance
Right.
both sides.
And it's being manifested directly in our community because you have these women who are basically saying they're the man and the woman, and they the man, they the father and the daughter. I mean, the father and the mother. You got these women that's the father and the mother women. Then you got these women that's coming out now that's divine, feminine balance with their masculine, and they're coming out exposing all the women who are doing that, right? And they're saying y'all women need to be more accountable. And now and the same thing is happening with the men too. It's like, and it's registering amongst humanity as a battle of the sexes, but it's us hashing out that energy within ourselves right now. We hashing it out. We come into it because eventually everyone's gonna have that balance within. Ma'at is actually Judgment Day. Yes, Ma'at is Judgment Day.
Each one of them, we're climbing our tree of life. We're we're taking that journey from the root to the heart to the crown.
Right, and that's the whole conclusion that the community is coming to is like we need each other. You can't have a community or a nation of people where the women feel like, oh, I don't need a man, and then a nation where the man feel like, oh, they're delineating from women. That's a backwards nation. That's what we're doing right now. We're coming to realize, and it's going to be a lot of those. This is what is a purging coming to eventually. But that's my last word. Get your last word in. I got to go.
Last word. Oh, man. Shit. Man, keep on manifesting, man. Just all I gotta say, just every day, take that silence going within and drawing that energy down from higher, from not just from higher manas, but above that, from what is called Atma. And Atma, there's no body. There's just all energy, the nirvanic realm, and everything else is below that. You just keep pulling that energy from up there down here into here, and that energy will get things done that you need done, and will protect you from this archonic, fucked up energy. Because the energy I'm talking about is more powerful than that.
Okay. I said that was my last word, but this is my last word. You said a word that's another superpower that we have, and that word is silence. One of your superpowers is silence. When you can silence your mind, when you can silence yourself and take control of yourself and just not say nothing in a situation where you just want to say something so bad, silence.
Silence.
Woo! I swear to God, you do that a lot. You're gonna gain so much. Oh my God, that's some mental alchemy for your ass. But that's it. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.